and welcome to Deaf Education. What's that? By Kimberly Kasper. I'm often asked what I do for a living, and when I tell people that I'm a deaf education teacher, they often say, Deaf education? What's that? Do you know Braille? Or deaf education? In this PowerPoint, you will see why I chose what I do for a living and why I love it so much. Let's start by looking at what is deaf education. In this word cloud, you can see that deaf education encompasses many different things. Sign language in a multitude of forms, whether it's signing exact English or American Sign Language or Pigeon Sign. It involves communication and language, and that's a challenge. But it also includes mainstream, self-contained, as well as all of the subject areas, science, social studies, math, and especially reading and writing, which are very difficult for our students in deaf education. So how does somebody get interested in deaf education? Was it a deaf family member by chance? No, I did not have any deaf family members that piqued my interest in deaf education. Could it have been deaf friends that I've met along the way? No, I do not have any deaf friends that I have met along the way that have piqued my interest in deaf education. What about a deaf coworker? No, I didn't have any deaf coworkers as I was growing up that piqued my interest in deaf education, but I have met some amazing deaf professionals throughout my education and my teaching career. And finally, what about sign language as a foreign language in high school? Unfortunately, when I started high school, sign language was not an approved foreign language, and they did not offer it at my high school. So I had taken 2 years of Spanish before sign language was approved as a foreign language. So if it wasn't from a deaf family member, deaf friends, a deaf coworker, or sign language as a foreign language, how did I learn sign language? It all started long ago in middle school when I was bored to death in algebra. My dad had given me a card with the American Sign Language alphabet on it. I hid the card under my desk and quietly practiced the alphabet until I could sign it faster and faster and faster. And that was the start of learning sign language. Somehow, my mom found out that I was practicing sign language under my desk and was interested in learning more. She quickly found any and every class on American Sign Language that I could take after school, since my school didn't have American Sign Language as a foreign language. I took evening classes all through high school to learn more and more about American Sign Language. Once I decided that I wanted to become a teacher for the deaf, I had to figure out where to go to school for that. I chose to make Stephen F. Austin State University my home away from home for 4 years while I learned how to become a teacher of the deaf and earn my degree in hearing impairment. So what do I do now that I've become a teacher for the deaf? When I first began teaching as a teacher of the deaf, I taught children all subject areas in the ages of 3 years old, which is the preschool program for children with disabilities, all the way through 2nd grade, and would have multiple grade levels in one classroom at one time. After that, I focused my teaching on English language art and worked with 1st and 2nd graders who had a hearing impairment. After working in the classroom for 8 years, I became an itinerant teacher, which means I traveled from school to school, focusing on reading language art for children with hearing impairment between the ages of 0 to 22 years of age. These children ranged from life skills settings to fully mainstreamed, and I was able to work with them one-on-one to increase their reading and language skills. I also have the privilege of working with new and struggling English language arts teachers within our deaf education program, modeling and supporting them in teaching our deaf and hard of hearing children. I can also pull small groups of the lower level or struggling readers within our deaf education classes. So what do my future plans look like? In the future, I would like to work to develop new and innovative vocabulary and reading strategies that will work for our deaf and hard of hearing students. I would also like to work with future teachers, teaching and molding them in the ways that would benefit our deaf and hard of hearing students and help them to be more successful. I would also like to present more in conferences and research and publish at various journals and institutions.